Welcome to Lauren Couple Circle, where we explore the deepest truths about love, attraction, and human psychology that most people never notice in real life. Some compliments don't fade after a few seconds. They crawl into her mind at 2 a.m. and stay there for years. Not because they were romantic, not because they were smooth, but because they touched a part of her identity she secretly questions when no one is watching. Most men compliment a woman's beauty, and beauty is loud, temporary, replaceable. She hears it so often that her mind filters it out like background noise in a crowded room. But the compliments she replays at night, those are different. Those are the ones that make her feel seen instead of desired. And if you've ever wondered why some words haunt a woman long after you said them, subscribe quietly, because the answers are usually hidden in the things nobody teaches men to notice. You see, attraction is rarely about the obvious. A woman can forget the man who called her gorgeous by morning, yet obsess over one sentence from a man who understood something deeper about her nature. Because emotionally, women remember feelings more than facts, and certain compliments become emotional fingerprints. The first compliment she replays in her mind at night is this: "You make people feel safe." Not beautiful, not hot, safe. Most people underestimate the psychological weight of that word, because deep inside, many women walk through life carrying invisible emotional armor. They smile while overthinking. They laugh while scanning for judgment. They speak carefully because they know how quickly people change once they see vulnerability. So, when you notice the calm she creates around others, the warmth in her presence, the emotional safety she gives without asking for attention, something shifts inside her, especially if you say it casually. Not like a performance, not like manipulation, just honest observation.
Because now she realizes you were paying attention to something nobody else noticed, and that is rare. A woman expects men to notice her body. It unsettles her when a man notices her emotional energy instead. That compliment follows her home. She replays it while removing her makeup, while staring at the ceiling in silence, while remembering every moment she felt emotionally exhausted from being everyone's comfort place. And suddenly, your words become attached to her identity. That's how emotional attachment begins sometimes. Not through seduction, but through recognition. The second compliment is even more dangerous because it touches the part of her she hides from the world. The second compliment she replays in her mind at night is this: "You pretend to be strong even when you're overwhelmed." That sentence is psychological dynamite because most women spend their lives mastering emotional camouflage. They become experts at saying, "I'm fine," with tired eyes. Experts at carrying emotional chaos gracefully. Experts at comforting everyone while secretly wishing someone would notice they're drowning too. And almost nobody does. People admire strong women, but rarely ask what their strength is costing them. So, when you look at her and calmly recognize the pressure beneath her composure, you trigger something dangerous. Emotional exposure. Not the kind that embarrasses her, the kind that makes her feel emotionally naked in front of you, because now she knows you can see beyond the performance. And humans become deeply attached to people who make them feel psychologically understood. That's the part nobody talks about. Attraction is not always built through excitement. Sometimes it's built through relief. Relief that someone finally noticed the sadness hidden inside the smile. You'll see it happen in subtle ways. She goes quiet after you say it, not because she disliked it, but because her mind is processing how accurately you read her. Maybe she laughs softly and changes the subject. Maybe she says, "What do you mean?" even though she understood perfectly. Maybe she avoids eye contact for a second because your words touch something she works hard to hide. That moment matters more than men realize, because emotionally intelligent compliments bypass logic. A woman can argue with being called attractive. She cannot easily argue with being understood. And at night, when distractions disappear, your words return. That's when the human mind becomes brutally honest. The ceiling becomes a mirror. The silence becomes louder than conversation. And the people who made her feel something real begin replaying in loops inside her head. Not because she wants attention, but because emotional recognition is addictive, especially in a world where most interactions feel transactional. You have to understand, women are constantly being perceived physically, rarely emotionally. So when you compliment the hidden parts of her personality, her resilience, her emotional contradictions, her silent battles,
Your words separate themselves from the thousands of empty compliments she's heard before. That's why she remembers them. Not every compliment creates desire, but the right one creates emotional permanence. And once a woman emotionally associates your presence with feeling deeply understood, you stop becoming just another man in her life. You become a thought she revisits in silence. But here's where it gets darker, because sometimes the compliments women remember most are the ones that expose truths they were trying to hide from themselves. The most unforgettable compliments are not comforting. They're confronting. They force her to meet a version of herself she keeps buried underneath routines, relationships, and distractions.
And strangely enough, those are the compliments that echo the longest at night, because human beings become emotionally attached to people who reveal truths they secretly fear are invisible. A woman may spend years being admired yet still feel unseen, and that's the contradiction most men never understand. Attention is everywhere. Understanding is rare. That's why a simple sentence from the right person can become emotionally permanent. Not because of the words themselves, but because of the timing, the emotional precision, the feeling that somehow you noticed the storm behind the calm. You see it in real life all the time. A woman sitting with friends, laughing loudly, yet becoming strangely quiet after one deeply observant compliment from a man she didn't expect to understand her. Her expression changes for half a second. Her eyes soften, and suddenly she's no longer reacting socially. She's reacting emotionally. Because now she feels exposed in a way beauty never exposed her. Most compliments touch appearance. Few touch identity. And identity is where emotional obsession begins. That's why women replay certain moments repeatedly at night. Not because they're trying to fall in love, but because the brain naturally revisits emotionally significant experiences, especially unresolved ones, especially moments that made them feel vulnerable, understood, or emotionally disarmed. The mind loops what the heart cannot fully explain. And maybe you've experienced this too. Maybe someone once said something about you that stayed in your head for years. Not because it was dramatic, but because it felt painfully accurate. That's human psychology. People forget conversations. They forget details. But they never forget the rare moments they felt psychologically recognized. And this is where many men destroy attraction without realizing it. They rush to impress, to entertain, to prove value. But emotional memory is not built through performance alone. It's built through presence, observation, timing, the ability to notice what others overlook. Because deep attraction often begins the moment someone feels emotionally safe enough to stop pretending. And when a woman senses that you understand the emotions she never verbalizes, your presence starts lingering in places where logic no longer controls her thoughts. That's why she replayed certain compliments at night, not because they sounded good, but because they made her feel visible in a world where most people only look at surfaces. And honestly, that's what almost every human being is starving for, to be seen beyond the mask. This is psychology of desire, where attraction, emotion, and human nature reveal the truths most people are too afraid to say out loud. If this video made you think about someone, or made you realize why certain words never leave your mind, subscribe. Because some psychological truths only become dangerous once you finally understand them. Thank you for watching Lauren Couple Circle. Stay connected for more powerful insights on love, attraction, and female psychology that reveal the hidden truths of human behavior.